Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break on this Friday, May 27th. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. We start with some breaking political news. The government has just vetoed a recent controversial revision of National Assembly Act that would allow more frequent parliamentary hearings. Let's go straight to our political correspondent, Park Ji-won, for the details. Ji-won, give us the latest.
Good morning, Daeun. At a cabinet meeting held this morning that was presided over by Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-won, the government has decided to veto a controversial revision to the Parliamentary Act. The cabinet voiced concerns that the bill is highly likely in breach of Korea's constitution as it allows the National Assembly excessive control of the executive. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Government Legislation, who just held a briefing, said the bill was vetoed on the grounds that more frequent hearings at standing committee levels would end up paralyzing state affairs. But the outgoing Assembly Speaker and opposition party lawmakers argue that the bill that would allow more frequent hearings would help the parliament quickly resolve any social issues at hand. The main opposition Minju Party of Korea's floor leader Woo Sang-ho also just held a press conference himself. He said the party will seek a revote at the 20th National Assembly that kicks off next week. And we'll bring you more updates as we get them. Back to you, Daeun.
Thank you, Ji-won, for that. And this just in, 2 North Korean vessels crossed the northern limit line near Yeonpyeong-do Island in the West Sea at around 7:30 a.m. Korea time this morning. Seoul's defense ministry says the patrol boat and fishing boat retreated northward from the maritime border after the South Korean Navy fired several warning shots. The South Korean military has been put on alert given the heightened tension on the peninsula. Officials say surveillance along the NLL has been beefed up and the military is keeping a keen eye for any unusual activities north of the border. Now to Ethiopia, where President Park Geunhye is continuing the first leg of her 3-nation tour of East Africa. Leaders of the 2 nations held summit talks Thursday local time, where they made one voice on the need for a peaceful, denuclearized Korean peninsula. But our Song Ji-sun tells us that wasn't the only issue on the table.
President Park and Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn are set to deal dozens of deals on Thursday. Among the agreements is a planned textile complex covering 100 hectares or 1 square kilometer, expected to give Korean investors a competitive edge in production costs.
Ethiopia has a strong textile industry with production costs that are about 30% of that in China. Korea's entry into the Ethiopian market will enable us to send exports to the U.S. and the EU without tariffs.
Seoul will take a greater role in Ethiopian infrastructure projects, especially in transportation, power generation, and urban development, while sharing its knowledge in high value-added sectors like science and technology, energy, e-government, and customs. Another highlight of the president's state visit is the launch of Korea Aid, a new official development aid program offering food, health, and cultural services on wheels.
In our bid to support Africa's ability to achieve its Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, adopted at the UN last year, Seoul will launch Korea Aid, a comprehensive development project that covers healthcare, food and culture, leaving no area left behind.
By taking an active role in supporting Ethiopia's growth and transformation plan, Seoul reinforced its comprehensive partnership with the African country for mutual growth, paving the way to enter the continent considered the last blue ocean in the world. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News, Addis Ababa.
Once the G7 summit wraps up, U.S. President Barack Obama is set to visit Hiroshima on Friday, with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe becoming the first sitting U.S. president to do so. The White House says Obama plans to lay flowers at a memorial remembering the victims of the 1945 atomic bombing of the city. He will deliver a speech calling for a world without nuclear weapons and visit the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. However, Obama has been making clear that there will be no apology for the bombing. An estimated 140,000 people were killed in the bombing, including 20,000 Koreans. It's now official. Donald Trump has seized the Republican Party's presidential nomination in the race to the White House. Despite a number of controversies and abrasive remarks, Trump will go toe-to-toe with either Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, the two main frontrunners in the Democratic Party. Park Jong-ung has more.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has surpassed the number of delegates required to grab the party's nomination. The Associated Press reports that Trump now has the backing of 1,238 delegates, one more than the 1,237 needed.
I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be in North Dakota and having hit that. I'm so honored by these people. They had such great sense.
Over the past 4 months, Donald Trump has seen off 16 others seeking the nomination. Since early this month, he has been the GOP's presumptive presidential nominee when he won the primary in Indiana and his last remaining rivals dropped out. Now, the Republican convention set for mid-June will become the official stage giving the nomination to the billionaire businessman turned politician. There are 5 remaining primaries, including the states of California, Montana, and New Jersey. But with Trump the only candidate left, observers say they have no bearing on the outcome. In the November presidential election, Trump will face either former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton or Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who are still vying for the Democratic ticket. Park Jong-ung, ARIRANG News.
Probably wasn't the easiest for many to see or even breathe through the thick layer of haze this morning here in Korea. A high level of fine dust has been accumulating over the Korean peninsula since yesterday, mostly due to heavy smog flowing in from China, raising the fine dust alert level to bad. The unwelcome guest is here to stay throughout the evening and early tomorrow morning and start to fade in the afternoon. Temperature-wise, Korea's central region is forecast to be warmer than yesterday. The southern regions will see similar temperatures, though, with the highs ranging from 22 to 30 degrees Celsius. That does it for now. Thank you for watching. Stay with ARIRANG for more news updates throughout the day.